So, hey everyone, what's going on? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another little video for you. Transfer news rundown of the day's latest goings on Manchester United. How you all doing today, my friends? Thank you very much for getting in here. Sorry for keeping you waiting again. Kingslayer, what's good? Fire up. Philip Chapman. Marky Harris is in here. Craw and Gungshi and the Hoop Man and Dan McGill and everybody else as well. Thank you very much for getting in here at the start of the show. Do us a favour at the start of the show. Kung Fu Canton the shite out the like button. Give it a raw, filthy like and share it around on social media as well if you want to do that. That helps us out. And if you're new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button. I've actually pinned the tweet to the top of the chat as well if you want to give that a follow and a retweet. I'd appreciate you. Agrippa Chinhara, what's going on? Justin Worley, how you doing? Tonk Nash, Brian Irvin, Neil Driscoll. Is it your birthday today, Neil Driscoll, mate? Happy birthday, my friend. Let's be having you. Guys, let's get some birthday cake emoji in there for Neil Driscoll. Hope you have a great day, my friend. And everybody else as well. RBSK, Dan McGill, Ada Peterson, J King. Thank you, lads and lasses, for joining us. We're going to get into some news now. But, yeah, another day of absolutely gash transfer news for Manchester United, really. Nothing really to speak of in terms of, like, proper announcements, proper key progress being made here. It's more of the same shite, to be honest. Just a warning at the start of the stream, guys. But, you know, this is how we've sort of come to expect things to play out, really, in Manchester United summer transfer windows. But anyway, so, look, there is the situation here is at the moment with Frenkie de Jong, really, is that Xavi has asked Frenkie to reduce his salary by 50% if he wants to stay at Barcelona. If he wants to be part of the project, the Dutchman has to make an effort. And also, he's been asked to play at centre-back, so the situation there is more or less the same. There are some reports that come out to suggest that Frenkie de Jong would be okay with taking a pay cut to remain at Barcelona, but I personally think that's a load of bollocks. According to AS, Barca boss Xavi recently met with him, etc. And, of course, we've heard, you know, things de Jong has said previously. He said things like, I prefer to stay at Barca, it's my dream club. Also from a young age, I said it too, I've never regretted my choice despite the fact I hoped for more in terms of prizes than I've achieved so far. But I've never regretted my choice. That's what he said to ESPN earlier this summer. And then he said, you're always flattered by the teams that show interest in you as a player, but I think I'm at the biggest club in the world at the moment. I feel fine, so there's no news. This is what he said all summer long. But I think it's changed. Personally, I think that it's probably changed. I don't think that the case is that he really wants to stay at Barcelona anymore. They owe him a shitload of cash. They're taking the piss, guys. They've spent loads of money on new players and they haven't paid him what they owe him. And they're expecting him to play for less than, half of what he's actually being paid. I think it's quite an insulting, ridiculous request that Barcelona are making to him. And it's all designed to try and rile him up and make him want to leave Barcelona. They've accepted the fee with Man United, so it's obvious that they're looking to do the sale. I mean, Gary Neville tweeted half an hour before this show, and I couldn't agree more. He said de Jong should consider legal action against Barcelona, and all players should be behind him. A club spending fortunes on new players whilst not paying the ones they have under contract their full money is immoral and a breach of FIFA. Should be all over bullying like this and stop. Let's face it, guys. Frenkie de Jong's being bullied out of Barcelona right now. That is pretty clear. They're making it a horrible situation for him, and they're not giving him what he's owed. They owe him loads of millions of pounds worth of money in deferred wages, and now they're expecting him to play for 50% of what he actually should be getting, and at centre-back as well. Fourth choice centre-back, essentially. So it's pretty ridiculous that Barcelona are acting in this way. They are, let's face it, a disgrace. A disgrace. And Gary Neville was absolutely spot on when he says that really de Jong should have him up in court, really, because it is pretty outrageous what they're expecting him to do. Also, Jan Arge Fjortoft tweeted and said, I still try to figure out why de Jong must use some of his money buying Lewandowski. Think about that. You know, that's really what's happened. So de Jong is owed money. Lots of players are owed money. They need to settle up with these players. And they haven't done, but they're still buying other players. So they're using players' money that they should be settling them up with to buy new players. I mean, that is just absolutely outrageous. So, yeah, I mean, I think that they're definitely going about this in completely the wrong way. But either way, I mean, if it helps us get Frenkie de Jong, then that's fine. I don't really give a shite about Barcelona and their financial situation. It just bugs me that they're taking this guy for a ride and that they're acting in such a a disgusting way. In all fairness, folks, when you look at what they've done in this whole transfer window with agreeing things with Manchester United and then pushing Frenkie out in this sense, they are doing it in a not very moral way, I think. But I mean, like I said, if it helps and it works and it gets Frenkie out to United, we don't really care, do we? I mean, we've got a report here as well from Sky Sports' Sharma Chef, who says that there's still a feeling that a deal can be done for Frenkie de Jong. Manchester United remain comfortable in their position, despite Barcelona's public utterances. So United have an agreement in place with Barca. That's the fact, really. We can't progress on that because of the situation with Frenkie de Jong. Publicly, he said previously this summer that he just wants to stay at Barcelona. But at the moment, it seems like Barcelona as a club are making the position and the situation of Frenkie de Jong as uncomfortable as possible to try and make him leave and try and make him change his mind. They're really not quite happy with the fact that he's so resilient and wants to stay. He's on big money, folks, and they've got to readdress their finances because of the fact that they've got to register players with La Liga, and there's a certain salary cap that they've got to adhere to. And unfortunately for them, they've got to get rid of some players. Memphis Depay is also another guy that we're interested in, apparently, and he's another player that Barcelona are trying to offload. So they're trying to get rid of some players. That is no secret. But they're also signing lots of big players at the same time whilst owing money to different players. Rob says, show me the money indeed, mate. Neil Driscoll, what's going on? Says, if Frenkie de Jong does not come, we'll be laughing stock of world football, right? Okay, so it would be quite embarrassing if we went for most of the summer long and we're still not able to bring this guy in. I mean, I couldn't even imagine that, guys. I mean, crikey, talk about the ultimate blue ball situation. They've literally been flicking you all summer long, only just deny you at the last moment. I think it's a disgrace if that happens, but I don't think that will happen. I still think that United probably will end up getting Frenkie. It just may take a long time, probably all summer, but I still think we'll get the guy just because, look at what Barcelona are doing. Xavi's publicly come out and said that there's issues economically. He said that, he rates him as a key player, but he can do a job at centre-back and all this stuff. It's like, clearly there's some strange things going on where they're trying to make it uncomfortable for Frenkie de Jong to play there. And like I say, they've reportedly asked him to take a 50% wage cut whilst still looking to sign new players. So Fab, about an hour ago, also tweeted out about Koundé and said that Barcelona are now getting closer to Jules Koundé. Positive contacts also in the morning. Personal terms are fully agreed with Koundé. I wonder if in his personal terms it says, hey, can we defer your wages for fucking 2 years? You know what I mean? I wonder if he's got a clause in his contract when he's signing a new contract. There's a new guy that comes in. I wonder if he's like, yeah, hey, by the way, Jules Koundé, we're offering you 200k a week, but in tiny little small print at the bottom, it's like a Carphone Warehouse fucking phone contract or something. It says, oh, by the way, we're actually going to defer this for fucking 17 years. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what's going on there. I mean, what is the case there? So it is actually similar to phone companies when you think about it, actually, because crikey, they always give the good deals to the new customers. You know what I mean? These new signers, Lewandowski, Rafinha, they're getting all the money. They're getting all the great deals. But the guys who's been there at the club for a while, they're getting those shit deals. What's that about? Should be the other way round. But anyway, so it is just fundamentally wrong what Barcelona are doing there. Corruption at its worst, says Philip Chapman. Definitely, sir. Couldn't agree more. How are they able to do this? How are they able to bring in new players and offer them big money and then still not actually settle up with the players that they've got? That is kind of what they're doing. They're essentially stitching up the players that they've got currently and just bringing in all these new players. Fair enough if they're going to get rid of these guys and they just want to make it so they don't want them and they don't want to stay. Then that's one thing, which seems to be what they're doing at the moment. Chelsea, says J. King. Chelsea looking a bit ropey, eh? Guys, thank you very much, everyone who's in here, by the way. We've got 264 legends in here. You what? We've got 64 likes on the stream. That's exactly 200 less than the amount of people watching. You what? Do us a favour and smash the shit out of the like button. Give it a cheeky little like spike and see if we can get this one to 100 likes. And thank you for getting in, though. But do remember to drop that like. It's free and it boosts us up there on the algorithm. Appreciate you, my friends. Diamond94 says, God, you like to repeat yourself every day, says the Diamond94. I mean, I don't like to, but I kind of have to, mate, because we do a daily transfer news show. If you don't like it, my son, You could go and sit on one, can't you? But we do have to get on the show and talk about the latest goings-on in terms of the transfer window. As you can see, there's no bullshit clickbait here saying there's any progress or anything. The title says De Jong and Ronaldo update. We're going to be talking about the latest transfer news and giving you the latest lowdown. That's what we do here. Unfortunately, the situation is much the same. I don't like repeating myself. In fact, I hate repeating myself. But really, that's the news. You know what I mean? That's the news. Marky Harris says, doesn't matter if a fee is agreed. De Jong doesn't want to move. End of. Well, okay, but what they're trying to do is push him out, though. So there is a fee agreed, and it does matter if Barcelona are trying to make it so it's uncomfortable for him to stay. Let's just analyse the scenario for a second. They're apparently suggesting that he plays for less money. That's got to be insulting. They haven't paid him what they owe him in terms of deferred wages. That's got to be annoying. They're signing other new players on big money, for big money, new players coming in. That's got to be a little bit insulting. You know what I mean? When they owe you shitloads of cash and they're buying loads of new players. Also, they're suggesting now that you're going to be playing as an option at centre-back when you're a fucking midfielder. That's really got to be a bit of a piss take, hasn't it, my friends? So when you think about it, you look at all those sorts of, those factors. They all lead to, we don't want Frenkie de Jong at Barcelona anymore, and we're going to try and convince him to go by basically treating him like an absolute bunch of shithouses. That's obviously what the case is. Jeanette Pugh says, why are United playing 2 games in 2 days? So I think it's because, well, probably money. I don't really know. No, what it's probably, let's face it, it's a bit strange, but we can look at both of the teams, can't we? It's probably just bad organisation from Manchester United in our pre-season plan, in all fairness. But no, I think it's to look at all the players, and maybe Ten Hag's got one last hurrah before the Brighton game, the competitive game in the Premier League, where he can sort of analyse every single player. Because over the course of 2 days, that's your final opportunity to really impress Ten Hag, and everybody's going to get an opportunity as well, because the games are literally back to back. So it's going to be completely different squads, completely different selections for both games. So because of that, it's a good opportunity to look at everyone just before the preseason starts. It's strange though; it doesn't quite add up, but maybe it's an opportunity for people to impress Ten Hag. Is Dumfries still possible, says Agrippa Chinhara? Yes. I mean, I think their CEO was speaking yesterday. The CEO was speaking yesterday about, the fact that they would be open to selling Dumfries, but only if the price tag was essentially met, which is reported to be around about 50 million euros. I don't think that they're going to get that much for him, but it seems like they'd be willing to play ball on it. Okay, so also there's some suggestions that Frenkie might just stay at Barcelona regardless and take a pay cut. I find that preposterous. They won't do that. His agent previously has been noted as saying, report by people like Fabrizio Romano, that they're not open to that sort of a deal, and really they're also trying to get some sort of progress made with the amount of money that they're owed. If they expect Frenkie de Jong to leave Manchester United, they better owe him what he's paid. If they expect him to stay, they better owe him what he's paid. That's kind of how it is, really. They owe him the money. It's a very strange scenario, but they don't want to pay him the money. Barca are the Harry Maguire of Spain, says Matthew Smith. Mate, speaking of that, I'm still reading from that news, that apparent BS news that Man United's Harry Maguire turned down and moved to Barcelona. What a load of old bollocks that was. But that was a story that came out a few days ago, that Barca were actually interested in Slavo Maguire. If that was the case, we should have just given him away. But I can't imagine that that's true for 1 second. Otherwise, we'd have just given him away. So it's a bit odd, isn't it? It's a bit odd, that link. I don't think that's legit. Who would want that guy? Who would actually want that guy? Also, so Barcelona have confirmed they will sell more players ahead of Manchester United's pursuit of De Jong, right? So Barca president Joan Laporta, this absolute teabag merchant, he sort of recently said that they're going to try and keep hold of Frenkie de Jong, hasn't he? That's pretty much what he said. But he has directly addressed it many times. But he recently had an interview with ESPN, and he said, we still have work to do. There are players coming in and coming out. We have done a good job adding players. They know that there are players who the manager doesn't have room for anymore for whatever reason, so we have to accommodate an exit for them. The transfer negotiations, are on course for an excellent rating. Laporta added, the TV rights were sold, and that has added important revenue. We are on path to being sound. We have not remortgaged ourselves. We have not mortgaged our future because we think this will turn into an important growth. Yeah, growth like a fucking cancer, mate. And we're going to find more money than what we're generating. I'm very satisfied with these two moves. We had to manage the chaos as it should be managed, and that is skillfully. We had to make decisions. We were given a club on the verge of folding. It has not only overcome this, but is now back in financial position where it can face any challenge in front of it. But we have to work harder to increase our earnings. Right? So that basically means they've got to sell players, folks. So they have got options, of course, where they can sell things and mortgage themselves like they've done, selling TV rights off a 25-year deal, percentage of it to some American company. And they've got money now, and that's good for them. But in the long term, it's not great. But still, it doesn't really matter about their actual bank balance. They've also got to make sure that the salary cap is met and all that kind of thing. So registering players is a bit of an issue. They can't add more and more and more and more players because there is already a limit that they've got to the amount of players they can have. So De Jong's on big money. He's on 350,000 euros a week. He's also worth quite a bit of money. So he's on one of the guys on the chopping block. Memphis Depay's on big money. He's only got a year left. He's one of the guys on the chopping block. Some of the squad players, some of the bit part players, they're on the chopping block. And certainly Frenkie, with the interest that there is for Man United and the agreement in place, is one of the guys severely on the chopping block still. So I don't care what anybody says about Frenkie de Jong wanting to stay at Barca. I don't care that we've seen quotes previously earlier on in the summer, right from the horse's mouth, where he says, I want to stay at Barcelona. Things change, and clearly this has changed. The situation's changed. Barcelona want the money. They've signed players. They've been insulting and quite ridiculous when it comes to avoiding paying players like Frenkie de Jong what they owe him. And they've also signed lots of big money players, as well as not giving them what they owe and suggesting they take a pay cut. So if you add things up in your mind, then you will come to the conclusion that Barca are treating Frenkie pretty poorly and that they want him to leave. And if you also look at who's realistically going to take him, at the moment, Man United have an agreement in place with Barcelona. Other clubs do not. There are reports that could be interest from teams like Bayern Munich or Chelsea Scummers and these sorts of teams. But right now, that's not the case. Right now, Manchester United is the team that's agreed a fee with Barca. So in my humble opinion, it happens. Let's ask the live chat, do we sign Frenkie de Jong, yes or no? Let's see what you legends are saying. The View today says, Mark Harris, Eric Ten Hag wants him. No one target, mate, worth waiting for. Andrew says, let Frenkie be. He wants his money. No one can just ignore Benjamins like that. 70 million's a lot. Precisely, Andrew. You can't just expect him to walk. I mean, regardless of what happens, though, he is owed that money. So even if he decides to stay at Barcelona, or they decide to keep him, they still have to pay him that money. They've still got to honour that. He can't come out publicly and say he wants to leave the football club. That could bring some loyalty clause into effect or some nonsense. So, there's issues there. He's got to keep himself stum, really. No, says James Smith. No, I reckon he stays, says Tonk Nash. Yes, says Manib Siddiqui. Dizzy says, no, I'm over it. Orby says yes. Liam says yes. Lucy McNicholas says yes and no, it's boring now. Yes, says Red Devil Yannick. On the fence. This whole situation's toxic, says Grant Norimac. It very much is, to be fair, bud. It's very much a toxic scenario. They've treated us poorly. We're sort of hanging on their every limb here, waiting for them to just try and progress something. It's down for them to settle up with Frenkie and get him on his way. We would have to agree personal terms with a player. That's not an issue. We can afford it. It's not an issue at all. You know, he'd probably end up getting paid less than Paul Pogba, so we can certainly afford it. It's just that they are treating us pretty poorly. Because of that, though, as I've said many times, we should try and get somebody else right now in the midfield just to make sure that if we can't get De Jong, we're not left completely exposed in that area with a championship standard midfield that we've got right now. 0 degrees. Thank you so much for getting in with your hot dog super sticker, my friend. Thank you so much, dude. Hot diggity dog. Can we get a sue in the live chat there for 0 degrees? Really appreciate it, my man. Thank you so much for getting a super sticker in there, you legend. Right, let's get back into the news then. So Barca's president's comments there, pretty clear. You know, he says we still have work to do. There are players coming in and out, but we've done a good job adding players. They know that there are players who the manager doesn't have room for anymore for whatever reason, so we have to accommodate an exit for them. So we discussed this yesterday, that certain players, it's believed like Depay and De Jong and a couple of other players have been told by Xavi now that they are not wanted at the club and they're surplus. So if that's the case, then hopefully you'll see a change in direction pretty quickly now, where these players have come to the realization, look, they're just not wanted. They've got replacements in. They've got new big signings in. They don't want to pay us the money. Let's go. That's really what it is. But Barca also have to pay them the money that they owe them in order to get them to go. That's what the extra money Man United paid up front is for, I believe. And so therefore they've got to do that, don't they? But just maybe a little bit of progress, I suppose, being made in the sense that the last couple of days, it looks like Frankie's position at Barca is getting more and more untenable. They're expecting him to play different positions that are not his own, and they're expecting him to pay for significantly less money than he actually is on. But as I said, Sky Sports Chef and a few other reporters still think that a deal can be done for Frenkie de Jong because they are trying to force him out, and there is an agreement in place between the two sides. But still, it's got a lot of legs on it, this one, folks. I think it could happen sometime later on in the transfer window. Really, if Barca stop being a bunch of shithouses, it could happen in a matter of a couple of days. All it is agreeing terms and medical. If Barcelona pay him and they just clarify the situation and tell him they don't want him, I can't really see how he would want to stay. I just can't see how they would want to stay, and they're going to make it so it's just not a very comfortable position for him to be there. Malp says, don't forget what Richard Arnold said years ago, transfer speculation drives high level of interaction within our social media communities. Well, that's a good point. Yeah, there's a lot of PR stuff that goes on, bud. Yeah, I mean, Manchester United themselves have got a transfer rumours section on their website, So it's quite pretty unbelievable. And if you actually go on the website, I mean, some of the stories that are being covered are just like absolute rubbish. So I think, yeah, definitely they're in it as well, mate. They know what they're doing. There's a lot of drip-fed stuff as well that comes from the club, just to try and maybe put a little bit of pressure on other teams, or just to get things out there in the ether that United could be looking at other midfielders, etc. Red Devil Yannick says, can't wait for Eriksen first training session. Yeah, so I've got a bit of information on that actually, bud. So Christian Eriksen, of course, him and Martínez are expected to come in soon. But Christian Eriksen is in Manchester, and he is expected to start training on Tuesday. So the players got today off, obviously, because of coming back from Australia, mate. But because of that, yeah, so Samuel Luckhurst gave a report at 6:17 a.m. that said Christian Eriksen's in Manchester now and likely to train with the Man United teammates for the first time this week. Squad have Monday off and are due back in on Tuesday. So it could be Tuesday that he joins the squad. That's looking quite likely. So get in there. Yeah, Christian Eriksen's a great addition to the team, but he's does it even improve our starting 11, really? Is he going to get into the starting 11? Maybe he will. But and sometimes he will. There'll definitely be a rotation and definitely give competition. But is it a huge, important signing that's going to completely change our team? Absolutely not, folks. I don't think it is. I think he's a great player, but we've got Bruno Fernandes there, who's also a great player. And where is Eriksen expected to play? He's not going to be playing deeper. So yeah, he's a versatile player in the sense that I suppose you could put him maybe on like one of the wider positions if you need someone just to whip balls in. He's got great delivery, and he's got great footballing brain. He could do that Juan Mata sort of role where he's playing CAM sometimes, playing out on wide positions, sometimes just coming in and controlling the game at the end of games and things like that. But really, we need to get the first teamers, like the proper improvements made in the first team. McTominay out, De Jong in, something like that, and then also get some other quality players as well. Talks of Dumfries, Anthony, these sorts of guys. If we could get these guys in, then we would actually have improvements in our proper starting 11. But at the moment, the only improvements I see in our starting 11, really, it would be Martínez coming in. And that's questionable as to where he's going to be playing at the moment, CDM or centre-back. But Malacia arguably will still be kept out by Luke Shaw at the moment. He's going to have a great future, I think. Eriksen's arguably going to be kept out by Bruno Fernandes. So that leaves you, Martínez, who's really the only player that's coming in to improve the starting 11 for the first team. That's just how I look at it. Look, Eriksen's a classy player. He could force his way into the team, definitely. So could Malacia in the future. He could succeed Luke Shaw and be a quality player. Ten Hag could utilise him over Luke Shaw right from the start. You never know. But I just believe that those signings have helped us, but they haven't completely changed us. There's nothing revolutionary about those signings. We needed to get a midfield maestro to completely change the look of that midfield because it stinks, and get us creating, get us playing out from the back. Hey, what's going on there, J King? Yes, Pig, says Sullivan. Pig, Malacia over Shaw, says Abjeff. Okay, fair enough. Maybe you're right. I mean, I think Malacia looks great. But even so, Luke Shaw as a left back is a good left back. we've got problem areas in the team, real problem areas, worse problem areas than left back, such as midfield, such as Shotty, McTominay, etc. McFred in the centre of the park. Those are big issues. So I'm just saying that those positions could be looked at more so than, a left back position. The left back position is a great sign and that helps us. But is that really going to revolutionise anything? Probably not, mate. But I'll just ask the chat though, seeing as you said that, Abjif. Who do you think's better left back, Luke Shaw or Malacia? We have to reserve a little bit of time on Malacia to see how he does, though, because he's only just come in. He looks good in pre-season. He looked good last season, of course, but not playing for us, playing in the Eredivisie, which is a good league, but it's not a great league, and it's not nowhere near the same as the Premier League. So this guy's got to go up against real top wingers in the Premier League, and he's going to, I think he's going to do great, to be honest, but we have to wait and see if he actually does. Malacia says Ninja Starman. Haven't seen anything of Malacia to judge, says CZ Bam. Luke Shaw says J King. What's up, Jonathan Lemon? You're really looking forward to seeing Eriksen. Me too, Ainey. Yeah, absolutely. Malacia looks quite small, which is worrying, says Jay Linners. Don't know enough about Malacia, says Chris Koo. I don't think that the height of the guy matters. We've gone into this a little bit as well, but Roberto Carlos, Patrice Evra, Dennis Irwin, none of these guys are towering people. They're all pretty short, but they're amazing wingbacks. So I'm not too bothered about the fact that he's not the biggest. I think it's all about the guile and the tenacity and the character and all that sort of stuff. Matt Gwinnett says Malacia. Shaw's too inconsistent. Brian Irvin says Malacia. You think Luke Shaw, says J King. Malacia says Duncan. Okay, fair enough, guys. I think Malacia is winning the vote here. I would have to say that I believe that Luke Shaw at the moment is probably a good choice because he's got that proven Premier League experience. You've got to give Malacia a little bit of time to come up to pace. Bring him on at the end of games for 25 minutes, give him a game against some lesser opposition. Play him in a couple of cup games and whatever. Just get him used to English football, get him used to the Premier League a little bit. Then maybe we can see him contending for Luke Shaw. But if we drop him in at the deep end, I don't know if he's going to be any better than Luke Shaw to begin with. It takes a little bit of time to adapt to the Premier League, I think, for most players. Shaw peaked long ago, says Cody Martin. Shaw's trash, says Arsenal Manic. Shaw's a good player, mate. He's good going forward. He creates you quite a lot of good chances. Defensively, he's a little bit questionable, but he's certainly better than somebody like, say, Tellez defensively. He's pretty okay. Look, he's a good player. He's just not a great player. Malacia is a good player, and he's got the potential to be a great player, whereas I'm not sure if Luke Shaw does. I think he's just got the potential to be a good player. So that's really what we're talking about. But right now, in terms of Premier League proven experience, Luke Shaw's in his prime at 26. He's literally got 7 years experience at Manchester United or whatever it is. This guy should be ready to stake a claim for his starting 11 spot. Malacia is obviously coming in for a reason to play, but he's also come in to provide cover and competition. And hopefully this is going to inspire Luke Shaw to stop fucking eating so many Frey Bentos pies and get himself into gear. And maybe it will do that. But then Tellez being there sort of did that last season, didn't it? But, okay. Yeah, there you go. Exactly, Cody Martin. He says, talking about heights, Philippe Lahm, Roberto Carlos, Marcelo. Precisely, exactly. All these players, all very, very good, and they're pretty short, aren't they? So, in fact, almost you could argue that some of the best wing-backs are short, rather than the tall ones are the best. Really, you want a little nippy wing-back being in there, Most wing-backs, you think about the ones that have played for Man United over the years, were not big players at all, really. Whether it's your Rafael da Silvas or your Irwins and your Evras, none of them are huge. Gabriel Heinze was pretty big, I suppose. Right, anyway. So we've got a report here from Melissa Reddy that says that a wide-scale restructuring of Man United has offered Ten Hag the opportunity to share streamlined working practices of Ajax and Bayern Munich, where the hierarchy and decision-making process is clearly defined and driven by a one-club, one-vision approach. Sounds interesting. Apparently also, she says, Ten Hag's assessment of Man United squad was that it was grossly imbalanced. Lacking technically astute thinkers, players were way off the conditioning needed to implement his high-tempo style, and there was a requirement for greater speed. That's for damn sure. Exactly, Don Gunchilioni. Evra wasn't exactly tall. No, Evra was short as well. In fact, a lot of people suggested that maybe Malacia could be the next Evra, just in terms of like his tenacity, his good ability going forward, but also defensively strong. Evra was big in other ways. You damn right, Enigma 47. That's what I'm saying. Big characters, quality players, rapid, ever was rapid, and speed and nimbleness and things like this. This is important as well. This is very important as well. So there you go, folks. That's it. Barca after Jules Koundé. Barca asking De Jong to play for less wages. Still a belief that we can really get the De Jong deal done, but it depends on a lot of factors like when they settle up the money that they owe him, and really what is Frenkie's true desire. Is he gonna wait it out? Is he gonna stay there in Barcelona, even though that they don't want him and they're clearly trying to force him out? They've accepted a deal from United and they're buying other players and all the rest of it, and they owe him cash. Is he gonna do that? I think no. I think he will come to Manchester United. There's just it's very confusing as to why they are spending so much money on other players when they owe players money in their own squad right now. Gary Neville said there as well, De Jong should consider legal action, because it is pretty outrageous when you consider what they're doing. They are signing huge name players and they are not paying their current players what they owe them. That does sound completely morally wrong. So let's get some poo-poo emojis in there for Barson Hollands, because they're a bunch of arson Hollands, aren't they, these guys, to be fair. By the way, everybody, thank you for joining us. We got 147 likes on the stream. That's fucking awesome. Thank you, everyone, for hitting that thumbs up button. I really appreciate you. Thank you for joining as well and getting in the chat. We do get in and out the chat and have an interactive show, but we also have a big Q&A at the end of the video. So if you're a bit pissed off that we haven't read your comments out, don't worry, we'll get in there at the end with a cheeky little Q&A. Hey, God Kawaki, thank you very much for getting that poo-poo emoji in there for Barson Hollands, mate. Okay, so let's discuss this then, folks. That's the De Jong stuff. We'll get into that in a bit. In fact, I'll just jump into the chat for a minute now before we move on from De Jong and just see what you legends are saying about it. But it is a very highly frustrating situation. In a way, we just got to go and move on and get Tielemans now. Go and get Tielemans or even Ruben Neves. Let's just spunk all of our budget on a midfield. And then if we do get De Jong, we've got one of the best midfielders in the league. Spot on. Has Haaland found his dad's leg yet, says Matthew Smith. Oh, mate, you better go and ask Roy Keane about that one. Great comments there as well, Cody. Evra, Danny Rose, Ashley Cole, Gary Neville, Zanetti. Yeah, all not huge at all. Sick of it. Dumfries, says Amy Evans. Dumfries would be an excellent signing as well. Get rid of Wan-Bissaka for 30 mil, 25 mil, and go and get Dumfries. It's a brilliant idea. We are moving for Silva Milan, says Lucky Singh. Hyper Strike says, I don't know how you say Martínez is an improvement. How? Where would he play? Over Maguire? He'll not be in his bloody captain. He ain't benching Varane. Where would he play? He can't play CDM. He played centre-back, says Hyper Strike. Hyper Strike, he can play CDM, bud. Please do your research, pal. So throughout his career, he's played many times at both centre-back and many times at CDM. Ten Hag's been quoted many times as saying, in some games, he loves to put him as CDM because of his awesome ability on the ball and range of passing and getting the play going out from the back, and does it very astutely. And also, but he's also got that defensive guile and battle that you need for a centre-back. Ten Hag's played him many times at centre-back and many times at central defensive mid for Ajax. So he can play in both those positions. But to answer your initial question, who's he going to bench? I think he's going to bench everybody and anybody, mate. He's coming for 55 million euros. He's Ten Hag's guy, who he's had under his tutelage for 3 years now, after signing him from an Argentinian side, a Defensa Justicia, in 2019 for £6 million. So he signed him then, he's developed him, he likes him, he wants him, he spent 55 million on him. You best believe he's going to be playing him, pal. He's bringing him in to play him because he thinks he's better than the current crop of shite that we've got at the club, which he's probably right. I mean, Slabo Maguire, you're right in the sense that he's the captain, but what's going on there? Rafael Varane, when he's fit, is better. And like you've just said, Martínez is an option at centre-back as well. So I personally think that we would be playing Varane and Martínez at centre-back sometimes. And then other times, we probably will have Martínez go at CDM, and we'll probably play Slabo Maguire there. Like, for instance, if you're coming up against a top team like City, Chelsea, one of those sorts of one of the harder teams to play against, who are maybe going to be more attacking, a bit more of the ball, be a bit more set up to get at you, right, than compared to some of the other lesser teams who might be more counter-attacking. When that's the case, you might want to have Harry Maguire and Varane at the back with Martínez in front, just so you've got a slightly bit of a lower line, you've got more of a Slabo sort of, in there to help clear stuff away. But you've also got that protection from Martínez in front of them, and he can also play it out. Look, there's many different things that he can do, but this guy's versatile. So let's not pretend like he's not. He can play centre back. He can play CDM. He can even play left back if you absolutely need him to. So no, he's a versatile player. But let's ask the live chat though, folks. Where do you think Martínez will play predominantly for Ten Hag? I look at where we most need improvement. We're supposedly going for De Jong. We've got Donny. We've got Fred. We could do with another midfielder as well. I think we're looking at where we need most improvement. The defence is a shambles. So I'd play him in the defence most of the time. But certainly sometimes I think it does make sense to play him CDM. Certainly if there's issues with players, if there's a knock or an injury, he can go in and just sit there next to, say, Frenkie de Jong. He's maybe playing the more defensive role. Frankie's allowed to be a little bit more creative. And he's got that versatility. But I think centre-back for me. Master Yoda says centre-back. Any Evans says centre-back. CZ says CDM unless we sign one. Left centre-back says the Vutinator. Centre-back says Chris Koo. CDM says the Trooper. Wherever the butcher shop is says Rob. Centre-back says Duncan and Abjith. Left centre-back says Jakin, Max Hitler, Andrew. So a lot of people thinking that centre-back is the way to go for Martínez. I agree with you as well. Which leads me on to my next question as well then. So in my opinion, we've talked about this, but Varane and Martínez would be a better combination. We've also got Eric Bailly, who can play. He's pretty damn decent, but he's injury prone. Varane is very injury prone. Maguire is shite. So the question really is, which player would you like to see partner Martínez? Let me know, guys, if you could choose the one player to partner Martínez at centre-back. So let's just say Martínez is playing left-sided centre-back. Who's playing right-sided centre-back? You like Bailly, says Amy Evans. Maguire's captain, says Scott Berg. But will he continue to be captain, though? I mean, he's shite for a start. Slab ball boy, says the Trooper. Nuno Bernandez, what's going on, bro? Yes, we do need to get the job done in the centre of the park, like you're saying. That's where it's going to be won or lost, mate, this season for us. It was lost for us in that area last season. Lindelof, Maguire's Maguire prone. Varane 100%. Varane says CZ. Varane says oh busy. Yeah, Daz says Martínez will be a new Daily Blind. He'll play everywhere. Good point. Yeah, like a utility player, can play in a bunch of different positions. Centre-back, CDM, maybe even left-back sometimes. Fair point, yep. God, Kawaki thinks Ronaldo captain. Well, if this guy wants to come back and actually play for us, then maybe he can have the captain's armband. But until he does that, then he can piss off, in all fairness. I wanted him to be our captain, but crikey, unless he comes back, gets his act together and commits to us this season, he's not getting the armband. But maybe that is the reason why Maguire is currently the captain, is because, well, we don't actually have our proper captain in there that Ten Hag wants to give the armband to. Maybe he's looked at the squad and he said there's not a proper leader in there. Maybe he's looking to bring in a new leader. Maybe he is looking to give the armband to one of his new signings. I doubt it, because that's not really usually how it works. There's a seniority at the club, but look, he's his own man. He will have his ideas who's going to be a good leader for us. Surely he doesn't really truly think that Slabo Maguire's the one. Surely he doesn't truly think that. If he does think that, then I'm sorry, but he's got not as good a judgment as I thought, because I've watched that guy for a whole year and he stunk up the gaff. Chris Koo says, I heard Ronnie's staying now. Is it true? Right. Okay, my friend. Let's get into the news. You've heard that Ronnie's staying? Well, no, that's not true, bud. That's not true. I mean, it's likely that he stays, but have we got a definitive answer? Has he come out and pledged his allegiance to Manchester United or the opposite and said that he's definitely going? No, he hasn't done. It's not the case. What's expected is that there's still one or two clubs who may have some interest. George Mendes at the moment is working on trying to get deals done with other football clubs, apparently for Champions League football. So teams like Atletico Madrid report to have an interest. Chris Reader reported earlier on this last night, actually it was late last night, that Man United accepted Ronaldo's explanation for his pre-season absence and have been careful not to put any pressure on him. But there's a growing feeling at United that something will have to give over the next couple of weeks before the season starts. So we've got to get clarity, folks. We've got to speak to Ronaldo. He's got to commit his future and his season to United, or he's got to go. It's quite simple, really. We can't have this happen right at the end of the transfer window where he goes. But there is a couple of different clubs who are supposedly exploring the opportunity of bringing in Cristiano Ronaldo. But look, let's face it, it's a big money move for a 37-year-old player. It doesn't appeal that much. But there's, some reports like Atletico Madrid was supposedly trying to offload Antoine Griezmann to try and make it happen. Personally, don't think that that's necessarily the case, but there's a lot of reports to say that Atletico and Diego Simeone have an interest in him. Other clubs as well, Bayern Munich, that's not going to go away because they lost Lewandowski, even though they may have come out and distanced themselves. People like Nagelsmann have literally come out and said it's not true and there's not the interest there at the moment. Oliver Kahn said that it's not the right philosophy to sign a player of that age right now, etc. So they distanced themselves from it, but if the price was right and the desire was there and maybe Ronaldo was prepared to take a pay cut, which by all accounts maybe he is, then maybe he could move on. So we just need to really get the clarity with Cristiano Ronaldo. But there is an understanding that he's probably going to miss the season opener. So, probably gonna miss the season opener, folks. We've got 2 more games now before the Brighton game on the 7th of August, which is against, of course, Rayo Vallecano and Atletico Madrid, right? The next 2 games we've got in pre-season. He's probably not going to be featuring in them. You never know, though, but I very much doubt that he's going to be returning to United in the next 6 days. He's expected that he could be back. He could be back to play Brighton on the 7th of August, but it's a big if. The transfer window's still open. That still rages on. I personally think he'll be having these family issues away in Portugal until the actual transfer window closes. Either he gets a move and goes to a Champions League football club, or he stays at United and plays Europa League football, but once the window's closed. I've got a belief, it's just my belief, that Cristiano Ronaldo will probably still be looking to move, because look at the squad, look at the team, captain Slabby Maguire's still the captain, most of the rot is still there at United. I wouldn't be convinced if I was him that this team was capable of winning trophies. Okay, they're in the Europa League. If he's going to miss out on a Champions League season, then he best have confidence in his team to go and win a Europa League or go and win a big major trophy. But unfortunately, I don't think the squad right now does really fill him or anybody else with confidence to be able to do that. We've still got like people like Maguire and Lindo stinking up, being selected at the back, McFred in the middle of the park. Real concerns with who's going to be scoring the goals for us this season, especially without Ronaldo. So from his point of view, man, he must be very frustrated. He knows what sort of a team behind him that there was last season. He knows the team behind him, and it's still there. So from his point of view, he must be a little bit concerned. Look, the new managers come in. Ronaldo's expected to really, really rate Ten Hag. He thinks he's a good manager. That's what lots of different reporters have said, is that Ronaldo rates Ten Hag. It's not about that. What it's about is the fact that he needs Champions League football, and Man United just cannot offer him what he needs. So, in terms of an update, though, the real update is that George Mendes is still trying to offer him around to different football clubs and try and work on a deal to get a cut price move. However, very soon, Cristiano Ronaldo may commit his future to United for the season if no move materialises. There is an understanding that a lot of football clubs are just not interested in Ronaldo. Seems like they've all been offered him, or not offered him, but they've all discussed it internally. Teams like PSG, Barca, Real, Bayern, all these different teams have discussed it internally, and most of them seemingly have said no, they're not interested in it. Hey, Big Bear, what's going on? My son, says Glory, Pig United. How you doing there, Big Bear? Hey, we got 400 legends in the chat today. Thank you for getting in, everyone. Do us a favor and drop the like on the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the show as well. Get yourself in there and subscribe. We're on here daily. We give you the no bullshit, no clickbait news. So get yourself in there raw and subscribe and smash the old like on the video if you haven't done so. If you're sick of clickbaiting guff merchants, then please do hit the subscribe and smash the like on the video. Zayn Miassi, what's going on? Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Zayn Miassi's in the chat. Zayn comments and he says, Piggy, as we have Gabriel and Saliba, we can loan you Ben White. We will finish third. Oh, Zayn Miassi, I love your confidence. I love your ignorance. I love your delusion. Thank you very much, says Zayn Miassi. Appreciate you. To be fair, they're having a good preseason, aren't they, bud? Yeah, nice one. Nobody cares, though, Zane. They'll probably melt in the actual competition, as I keep telling you. It's different. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter at the moment. As soon as the actual competition comes around, you'll be melters. You ever heard of a gym hero, my friend? Somebody who can do it in the gym. But when it comes down to the actual competition, man, they melt. That's what us and Hollands are. Wes Ain says, can we go for Aubameyang? Should be cheap, also Premier League proven. I don't want him, mate. He's a shithouse. He is a very good player, though. I like him, but nah, man. I mean, what was he getting paid at Arsenal Hollands? 350k a week? I think he's not the guy for us, really. He's not the guy for us. I mean, Barca, I don't think want to get rid of him either. They want to get rid of different players, some of the lesser players. Nut says, Zayn Miassi, this channel wouldn't be the same without you. You're right about that. It would not be the same at all. What's going on there, Henry? Says, come on, the pig. Thank you very much, bro. Rushy says, we've got 181 likes. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you, everyone. We're creeping up to 200 likes, baby. Break out the red panties. Right, Rashford's been quoted. Let me get on with the news. Rashford's been quoted in speaking to, who was he speaking to? The Athletic, I think it was. And he was talking about the next season and why this next season is going to be better for him. And he said, this is the second time since I became a professional footballer that I've had a full pre-season. I mean, that in terms of rest and getting the work in, I feel really good in myself. So hopefully he's going to have a better season this year. He needs to. He said, I had time to rest, to recover mentally and physically. It didn't feel like last season just rolled into this one. I want to continue to feel how I feel now. So Rashford's feeling fresh. Let's ask the chat, can Rashford get back to being his best? Can he have a successful season at the football club? Yes or no? What's your opinion? He's going to have to, because we've got very little options over on that side, really. Zayn Miassi with another super chat. Thank you, Zayn, man. Can we get some soos in the chat? Zayn says, I'm appalled the abuse Ronaldo has been getting on the other United fan channels. He's still world class and scores 20 plus goals. Zayn, really? Wow, that's actually a very measured comment from you there, Zayn. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see the criticism he gets. I understand that people are frustrated because, well, if you've got a want-away player, nobody wants a player that doesn't want to be here. But for him, he did want to be here. It's just that the goalposts changed in the sense that the competition we're in and the competition that he wanted to be in are not the same anymore. So I don't really begrudge him or blame him for wanting to move. I just think that we have to make it happen now, or he has to commit to the season. That's it. There's one or two. We don't want this to rage on all summer. I don't want to be talking about this in a week, and we don't want to see him move literally last day of the transfer window and then leave us scratching around for a forward player, which we don't have. So I think it's very important we get this sorted out. Ten Hag's got to speak to the guy and decide the future of this player, and Ronaldo's got to give us an answer. So we'll fresh that out, won't we, Zayn? We'll fresh it out. Ten Hag will get it sorted. But either it's a yes or either it's a no, and whichever way it is, we just have to crack on now. He'd have to come back to us for pre-season, or he's going to have to get on his merry bike, and we'll have to find him a new club. But the reality might set in that no club wants the guy. No club can afford the guy. No club sees the value in the deal. It's possible. I don't know who these football clubs are, because if I was Bayern and I had a 34-year-old Lua there smashing the goals and he leaves, I'd be super keen to bring in an aging Ronaldo to score shitloads of goals for a year or two and sell loads of shirts, because he's still quality enough. But evidently a lot of these teams are not that interested in him. Yeah, Connor says Zayn's profile picture is with Ronaldo. He's a United fan deep down. He loves it. That's about right, Connor Franklin. Yeah, Zayn's got a Ronaldo fetish, mate. Absolutely. I've never heard him speak this positively about any Arsenal players. He's seriously a Ronaldo fanboy, isn't he? Hey, but you know what? There are a lot of Ronaldo fanboys out there. There's nothing wrong with that. The guy's the greatest player of all time. At least Zayn Miassi's not got those rose-tinted glasses on so much that he can't see that, let's face it, Ronaldo's an absolutely amazing player. Everybody knows he is. I mean, Zayn said there he scored 20 plus goals. I mean, he scored 24 in all competitions for us last season, 18 in the Premier League, and the team was crap. The Hoff 1K says CR7's desperate for Champions League football as Messi is only 16 goals behind him. Exactly, there you go. And Messi will be playing in that Farmers League and PSG, winning domestic trophies, adding to his legacy, whilst also scoring goals in the Champions League, and then adding to his Champions League tally. Ronaldo's going to stagnate. I agree. It's if I was Ronaldo, I would be worried and pissed off as well that I can't be competing in the Champions League, because he's trying to get that #1 all-time record. And I think those things are important to him. He's in this for the legacy and the stats. That's all he's in it for, really. The glory. He's not in it for money. Zayn Miassi, thank you so much for the super chat again. Dude, Zayn Miassi going raw. Can we get some raw emoji in there, please, channel members? He says, I'm a Ronaldo fanboy, but love Arsenal. Can't that exist? Now, fair play to you, Zayn. I guess that can exist, mate. I respect that. I respect that, because you can see a good player. You're not just blindly saying, oh, they're crap because they don't play for you or whatnot. So fair play, just like me with Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry was an absolutely wonderful player, even though he's an absolute Arsenal shithouse and a complete arrogant bastard. But, you know, he was an unbelievable talent, wasn't he? Yeah. Master Yoda, yep, I saw that. Says TalkSport said Bayern Munich are after Harry Kane next season. Oh, you know what we should all do? We should all not listen to TalkSport, mate, because that basically means it's not true then. No, in all fairness, look, actually, Nagelsmann did say, so this is legit. Nagelsmann did actually, he was quoted as saying, you know, he thinks Harry Kane's a great player, blah, blah, blah. So he was essentially, praising the player in public. And Antonio Conte got a word of this, and he wasn't too happy about it. I think he was quoted as saying something along the lines of, it's disrespectful to talk about other clubs' players. He shouldn't have done that. Something like that. So, yeah, I'm aware of it. I just don't think that it's realistic because Harry Kane's probably a 100+ million player. Don't see Bayern prepared to spend that money. He's a little bit aging now as well. He's still in his prime, but he's a little bit aging out and he's a little bit injury prone. Plus, if I'm Harry Kane and I've stayed at Spurs for all this time, and I'm nearly on the road to getting that Premier League record off of Alan Shearer. How many's he got to go, guys? So Shearer's on 260, and I believe that Harry Kane is on something like 183 or something like that. So realistic, with 3 top seasons in the Premier League, if he could get 20+ goals a season, or you know, even 15 goals a season over 5 seasons, if he had that longevity in him, then he can break Shearer's all-time goal-scoring record, mate. And that is actually pretty awesome. However, he would maybe have to move football clubs, wouldn't he? And City have just signed Haaland. Where would he go? He's not going to win anything at Tottenham. As much as Conte's a good coach, I can't see them winning it this year, folks, because it's just Spurs. Spurs are too Spursy to win anything, guys. So, yeah, don't see him leaving the Prem myself, says Master Yoda. I don't think so either. I think he wants to try and win some things. You know, Harry Kane's too good of a player not to win some trophies throughout his career. He really is. It's like Gerrard at Liverpool, but Gerrard at least won the Champions League. Harry Kane's not won jack shit playing for Spurs. So, yeah, in that sense, he deserves better because he is a top-class player. He's a great finisher, he's a great goal scorer. And, I mean, a lot of people really look up to him, you know. He is a fantastic player. Okay, so just speaking on other links in terms of forwards, other forwards that are linked to sort of Manchester United as well. So Victor Osimhen is a player that's been linked to us quite recently as well. And Osimhen's future, he's been speaking on it, and he said that I'm very happy at Napoli. I feel good here. The city makes me happy. My inspirations are Harry Kane and Didier Drogba. See, there you go, little segue. Just told you. Harry Kane is very much a top player, and a lot of teams would love to have him in the team. But will Bayern be prepared to spend that money? Probably not. But Victor Osimhen's a player that's linked to United. Seemingly, he's happy at Napoli. But if you look at what he's just said there, his inspirations are Harry Kane and Didier Drogba, Premier League vibes. One day, I could see this guy coming to the Premier League. Could it be United? Probably not this window, because apparently he's available for like 70 million. Maybe it's too much money with all the other areas of the team we've got to strengthen. And plus, you know, there's other strikers that will probably sign before him. But there you go. He is a player that's linked to United, maybe one for the future. Zane Miyasi, thank you so much for the super chat, dude. Zane says, for me, the best captain ever was Keane. And the best goalkeeper was Schmeichel. But the best striker in the league was Henry. Zane Miyasi. Oh, my goodness me. I've never thought I'd hear an Arsenal fan say that, to be honest with you, bud. But fair play, mate. You're usually all sucking off Vieira. You know what I mean? You're usually all, I can't get enough of Vieira or Tony Adams as your captain. Do you know what I mean? Zane, hang on a sec. Zane's actually a Man United fan, isn't he? He's actually a Man United fan, I think, folks. Yeah. I think he is. I mean, who says that? Who says that, guys? I don't know. It's a strange one, but Kane won't go to Bayern. City is the only better chance if he goes to win cups, says Simon Warner. Yeah, that's it. But they've got Haaland, haven't they? I wonder if they'd add another top striker to him like that. Don't know. But anyway, so Victor Osimhen is a player that's linked to United. Probably not going to happen anytime soon, if at all. But there you go. He's sort of committed through to the Napoli. Also, we got some reports here from The Athletic that during the tour, one player was twice late for team meetings. Ten Hag had been planning to use him in a game, but dropped him by way of punishment. A reminder to everyone in the squad that punctuality is important. Who is that? Who do you think that person was, guys? Let's have a vote in the chat. Who do you think that person was? So there was a few players that that I expected to see play that didn't, like Garnacho. Yeah, who was dropped says fire up Garnacho, says God Kawaki. Maguire says I'm a Night fan. Jonathan says Pig, no world-class players will join us. Well, let's see if Frenkie de Jong's going to join us. Jeffers says Garnacho. God says Garnacho. J King says Garnacho. Yeah, so in regards to Garnacho, folks, it does seem like he's probably the candidate for one of the players that was late. Or, you know, but it does not for sure. I don't think it's for sure. But in regards to Ten Hag's management style, just setting a precedent there. You've got to be professional. You've got to be on time. You know, he's obviously bringing about a sort of extra discipline to the squad, slowly but surely, which is good to see, which we desperately need because these players are all a bunch of melters, aren't they? Yeah, that's right. Like you're saying, all players will get a punishment by my manager. Absolutely, dude. Garnacho 100% says Stephen Carr. Well, he is young, isn't he? He's young. You live and learn. UK Nation PS4 Gamer. Thank you for the £2 super chat. He says, Zane's not on crack. He's come off it. Nice one, bud. Yes, indeed. Zane's finally speaking with clarity. He said the best captain ever was Keane and the best goalkeeper ever was Schmeichel. You'd think he'd say Seaman or Adams and Vieira for the captain. But to be fair, I think he's right. If we're being totally honest, if Zane is an Arsenal fan, he's actually an Arsenal fan with a proper clear head when it comes to gauging and judging different players, because let's face it, Keane did win over Vieira in the heads-to-heads over the years. There were sometimes Vieira got the better of Keane, but most of the time, Keano's on the winning end. Most of the time, Keano's got the better of it. Secondly, Schmeichel, let's face it, was a better keeper than David Seaman. David Seaman was absolutely elite, world-class, but Schmeichel was something next level, if you ask me. So that's a great comment, in all fairness, bud. Nice one. And UK Nation said he's off the crack. Thank you very much, Andrew. You have a great day as well, bro. Piggy, it was a first-team player, says Paul Woolley. Okay, well, who do you think it was then? Who do you think it was? So we don't know it was Garnacho. I was just saying players who didn't play. So who didn't play who was a first-team player then that we probably thought was going to? Let me know who you think it was. But Zamiasi says it was Maguire sleeping in after Ladyboy fun, says Zamiasi. Oh no, his alarm didn't go off because he was stuck with Bangkok Betty, lad. Oh, same as he. Fucking hell, bud. Well, there you go. Maguire sleeping in after Ladyboy fun. That's what Zane says. One night in Bangkok with Slabby. The Hangover Part 5. You know what I mean? Oh dear. No. Let's not entertain that, bud. Let's not entertain that. But to be fair, maybe it was. There was the first game, wasn't there, where apparently Harry Maguire picked up a little knock. It was against Liverpool, wasn't it, where he didn't play? Maybe that was it. Oh, Chris Koo, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Thank you so much, Chris Koo. He comments and says, Zane has to be a United fan, either that or the biggest troll ever. Look at the amount of money he spends supporting United channels. I mean, come on. Yeah, you're right, Chris Koo. You're right about that. It's a fair point, yeah. I don't know it, but he says he's an Arsenal fan, but he seems to love Roy Keane over Vieira, and he seems to love Schmeichel over Seaman, and his favourite player of all time is Cristiano Ronaldo. So, you know, I think you might be onto something there, but it's a bit odd. Bye, says Jeffers. McTominay says Chrissy J. Time Waster says Lucky Singh. So let's cover the rest of the news then, my friend. So Frenkie de Jong's situation is gash. Let's talk about this Laporta melt as well. So this guy who I was reading his comments earlier about the fact that they have to sell players, but as about this twat when he was talking to ESPN as well, said that the Super League can be the most exciting and attractive club competition in the world if it's done correctly, and I'm sure we're going to do it. This guy's an absolute scumbag. He's still going on about entering the Super League and trying to just completely destroy the game of football as we know it. This is what this guy's still on about. And a lot of the other heads of top clubs as well are apparently still interested in trying to do this. I think it's a disgusting thing. Paul Woolley, thank you for the £5 super chat, my friend. He says, just watch the 91 Cup win a final. We need a Hughesy. Oh, great shout, Paul Woolley. Yeah, we need the Thunder Thighs, mate. Thunder Thighs, pure tenacity, my son. Absolutely great shout. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat there, Paul Woolley. Oh, yeah, Sparky would be brilliant, wouldn't he? Laporta is Spanish for twat, says Rashford. I know, yeah, this guy, though, still pushing, still trying to ruin football, still trying to just line their pockets, and it's all for greed. That's what it is for, guys. It's just, they just want more money. Why can't they just leave it alone? I mean, let's ask the chat then. Who actually thinks that European Super League is a good idea? Yes or no? What do you think? The European Super League, is it a good idea? Simon says the Super League will never happen. Nobody wants it. That's it. Apart from the top clubs and the owners of these clubs who stand to make an absolute killing. I mean, thankfully, it was halted previously last year when they were talking about it, because they were all talking about, oh, they get 5 billion up front and all this malarkey's bollocks that they were discussing. And so all these tosspots like the Glazers were wanting to do it. Good idea, says Dunkey. No, says Dipankar. No, says Dublin Games. No, says Duncan Believer or Batman Knight fan. Nick Morris says Gary Neville has come out and said De Jong should take legal action against Barca. Yeah, I saw that actually, my friend. Yeah, I've got that up on the screen earlier, bud. So look at that, and I agree. I think the way that we've spoken to him is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, I think the way that I think the way that he has been treated there by the football club is pretty disgusting, mate. Yeah. But anyway, back on the Super League there. The Super League's a waste of time, says Vincent Bullock. Noto says his nailing your balls to the wall, a good idea. Precisely, exactly. Like what difference is this really going to make to top European football? It's just going to make more money for a smaller amount of football clubs. Whereas now, at least there's an openness and a trickle-down effect, and it's an open format. That's what's so good about it. Even if it was an open format, I still don't see the need to change it. It's the Champions League as we know it, the Champions League, with the music and the history, and it means something, it means something. It replaced the old European Cup in, when was it, like 92, around about there, a similar time to the Premier League coming in, I believe it was. I'm not sure of the exact time, but around about then. And since then, we've got, 30 years of history. And then before that, the old European Cup, essentially, there's less teams in it, but really it's the same sort of open knockout tournament football tournament, where the winners of the different respective leagues in Europe all compete to find out who's the best, and there's a trophy at the end of it, and it's a cup knockout tournament. So I just don't see the need for us to change the current format. I don't know why they'd want to do that. Paul Woolley says, it's the teams that are in debt, Piggy, says Paul Woolley. There you go. Barcelona reported 1.3 billion in debt, my son, just recently, before selling off TV rights and doing all these things. Yeah, it's actually disgusting. Manchester United's owners were super keen on doing it last time out as well, because they stood to make a lot of money on it. And of course, like you say, they're in debt as well with the football club. They've willingly got us in debt. Playlist account says super chat. Did I miss one? Thank you, everyone, for getting in here with your super chats, you absolute legends. I really appreciate it. And everybody getting in here with your comments and your chat in general. We are going to have a Q&A in a minute. I just want to read out the rest of the news very quickly. But 226 likes. Thank you, every single one of you, for dropping that like button. Please do twat that like on the video. Help us compete with those clickbait wankers, corporation channels, and shithouses by dropping the like on the video, and hit the subscribe button if you're new to the show as well, and get yourself involved with the chat and the news. Unfortunately, it's a slow news day today, guys. It is a slow news day. United are also understood to still be monitoring RB Salzburg striker Benjamin Sesko. The Austrian club do not wish to sell him for apparently any less than £55 million. Oh, goodness. Can't really pretend to have seen anything about this guy, but look, he's a big, tall player. We discussed him yesterday. We're not going to, I don't think we're going to go in for that guy. I mean, certainly that figure that was being reported, there's a load of bollocks. What else have I got for you here, folks, from today? So, yep, United waiting for further clarity on Cristiano Ronaldo. It's expected that he may well miss the Brighton game, but hopefully we can get him in before then. I mean, let's ask the chat, would you start Ronaldo if he hadn't even played a single preseason game for that first game of the season if he comes back for the game? Would you start him? Or would you, just out of sheer, principle, start Martial up top? What do you reckon? No, says Think So. Yes, says Dublin. Yes, says Manhouse. Primot, you legend, says yes. How you doing there, Mr. Primot lad? Yes, says Johnny M. Start him, says Vinnie Bullock. No, says Duncan. Yes, says Eston Singh. No, says Nick Knack. I mean, it's a little bit split there, isn't it, folks? Because some may say what he's done is quite disrespectful at the moment. He's contracted to United. He's being paid money. Come and play for us. Sorry to say, yeah, okay, we don't have Champions League football. Be professional. Be professional and turn up for pre-season. And if your agent's working on a deal behind the scenes, so be it. But fucking come along. You know what I mean? That's how I sort of view it. And come and play for us while you're still a Man United player. That's sort of how I feel. But at the same time, maybe there is some genuine sort of family issues that are being worked out there. So I don't want to shit on him too much because I think Ronaldo is an absolute legend. And I understand why he wants to leave, but I just don't really like how it's being dealt with by, well, him and us and his agent and stuff. I'm not really too keen on how it's happened. I would have liked it to have started at the start of the transfer window, and so we could, plan a bit quicker. And I'd also like it to be concluded very soon as well. Right, anyway, let's just get into the live chat, folks, and have a Q&A. I've just realised I've been on here for an hour. How's that happened? But let's have a Q&A then. And also, I'll just give you a quick rundown of what I was discussing in this video. So, yeah, quotes from Xavi about the financial situation at Barcelona. Not good, and about De Jong playing centre-back. Gary Neville has said that De Jong should consider legal action v Barcelona and that all players should be behind him. A club spending fortunes on new players whilst not paying the ones they have under contract their full money is immoral and a breach of free pro. Should be all over bullying like this and stop it. So Gary Neville pretty clear with his stance in it, and I fully agree. I can't believe they're getting away with it, in all fairness. They owe players money, and yet they're signing loads of other players. Paul Woody, thank you for another £5 super chat, mate. He says, there has been reports that a FAM member has suffered a stroke. I had one 4 months ago. Oh, Paul Woody, sorry to hear that, my friend. Can we get some love hearts in there for Paul Woody? I hope your recovery's going well and everything, my friend. Sorry to hear that, bud. Well, there you go. You see, we don't know the true situation behind the scenes. Maybe there is some serious family issues going on there. And even if that's not the case, well, let's be honest. I mean, it was only a couple of months ago that you had some real tragic news about the passing of a newborn. So you've got to think about that and the effect that can have mentally on his partner and his family, and just like spending time together at Raw after that. It literally came back and played like immediately after that as well. And when the season's gone, maybe that's the time where they really started to sort of grieve it, if you know what I mean. But I don't really know. Who knows? Yep, all the best with your recovery, says Nick Knack. Absolutely. Let's get some love hearts in there, please, for Paul Woolley. Much love to you, Paul Woolley, dude. Bell691 says, my phone rang. Let's get a last 32-minute recap. Right, let's give you a recap then, bud. So De Jong also must be frustrated really with the business that Barca are doing. They're also closing in on Koundé. Fab tweeted before the show that they're getting closer to Jules Koundé. Positive contacts also in the morning. Personal terms fully agreeing with Koundé. And as I said many times, like, I very much doubt that they're offering Koundé a deferred deal here. They'll be paying him his wages. They'll be paying these new signers the wages, but not the current players, not De Jong, etc. So that's a disgrace. Xavi, is expected to have asked De Jong to reduce his salary by 50%. Sky Sports Chef says that there's still a feeling that deal can be done for Frenkie de Jong. Manchester United remain comfortable in the position despite Barcelona's public utterances. That Laporta twat has been speaking about taking Barca into the Super League and lots of clubs going in, and he says, I'm sure we're going to do it. Osserman's committed his short-term future to Napoli, but still says his inspirations are Kane and Drogba, and he's one that could be linked to United in the future. Ten Hag has been punishing players on tour for being late and laying the smackdown. We are still linked with Benjamin Sesko at Salzburg, but apparently he's just on the list of someone we're aware about. Whether or not we'll be going for him's another question. That's basically the latest update. There's not that much news today, folks. It's a slow news day, and more or less the same situations, guys. Sorry to report, but let's get in the chat and see what you legends are saying. I'll stick around for a few minutes, see what you got on your minds. Do us a favor also. Hit that like button. We're 1 like away from 250 likes. Baby, we did it. Break out the red panties. It's red panty night. The live chat's got us 250 likes, baby. Thank you, everyone. Let's have a little last like spike. And also drop a subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. We're very, very close indeed to getting to 60,900 subscribers. We're only 25 away. Is there 25 of you legends out there who have not been subscribed to this channel, who are new, who are going to smash the subscribe? Let's find out. Do hit that sub up if you're new and get yourself in here for the daily Man United news. We'll be back on tonight as well, around about 9 or 10, to give you the rundown of all the latest evening's goings on. Hopefully there'll be some actual news then as well to discuss. So yeah, make sure you subscribe though, click the bell icon and smash the like. Nice one, Chris Barker says he was the 250th. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We need you, says Fire Up. DJ Wizzo Beat says, De Jong, please stop talking about this guy. It's annoying now. Well, it's an annoying situation, bud. What are we supposed to do? We are pursuing him. We have got an agreement in place with him. And so, therefore, it's a transfer that is realistic for Manchester United this summer. We were expecting it to be done by now. It's majorly delayed because of Barcelona's shithousery. But we've got to give you the updates on what's going on throughout the summer of the deals. Chai Komalatul says, is it true that Maguire has no tattoo? What do you mean, Chai? Do you mean no bollocks instead? Jassy says, FIFA stream. I don't know about that tonight, Jassy. It's date night with Mrs. P tonight, my friend. Pete says, FDJ Dream Team turned out to be a nightmare, says Pete Ratanakel. Yeah, precisely, yeah. Pushing him out, not paying him, playing him as centre-back. Ron John says, Troy Orway was 26 million to buy for Barca. We could have got him for cheap. Yeah, that's right, Ron John, I know, yeah. Jonathan says, move on, pig. You aren't getting De Jong, says Ben Dorr. Okay, should we move on or should we stick with him? Have a vote. Move on or stick? Let's do this, because a lot of people are getting just too pissed off and frustrated with De Jong, and they want us to just forget about it now and move on. I still think we've got to let Ten Hag be patient and get his guy. I don't think it would hurt us to go and bring in another midfielder, though, just in case. Yeah, maybe so, Lucky Singh. So, yeah, as we discussed yesterday, if it breaks, then we'll try to get Milinkovic-Savic. He was one of the players that's linked from us from Lazio, yeah. That is true, apparently, anyway. He was about a 70 million euro player. So similar sorts of money that we'd be spending on De Jong. And apparently he was linked to us, and there is some interest there by Manchester United. Lawrence says Cristiano Ronaldo is being annoying. Agreed. Stick says Philip Chapman, but he sort of is too good for this situation right now. Rushy says it's still worth sticking, but it's getting close to move on. Yeah, that's how I'm starting to feel as well. I mean, Ten Hag must be getting a little bit worried as well about being prepared for the season properly, and maybe Barca just taking the ultimate piss and not actually getting the deal done at all ever, in which case we would be seriously short and not have a lot of time to go and get somebody else. We should have got Camavinga, says Dunkey. Yeah, great young player. Yep, deal agreed. We got to hang on now. Exactly, United till I die. So the facts are really that Barcelona and United have agreed a fee for the player. So it's possible, isn't it, that it can happen? Have we sold anyone yet? Says Ron John. I believe the only player we've sold officially is Andreas Pereira. We sold Andreas Pereira for like 13 million, so we recouped all the cash back that we paid for Malacia, pretty much. Our net spend is 55 mil at the moment. We're bringing in Martínez. Other than that, Eriksen's a free. It's a pretty disgusting window so far. We need to sell a couple more players like Wan-Bissaka, I think, is on the chopping block. Yeah, that's right, Gungshi. Andreas Pereira. Ronaldo should allow to leave, begging him he's a problem, says Lawrence Long. Any player that doesn't want to be here is a big problem, because you don't want that negativity in your dressing room. You don't want this player not being 100% committed either. Ronaldo's a little bit different because he's super professional, and if he is playing for your team, he's still going to be trying to score goals and giving it his 100% best, I believe. But what sort of negative influence it's going to have in the team? It remains to be seen. It needs to get sorted out very soon. United need to sort this situation out with Ronaldo and either let him go or commit him to the season. Let him commit to the season. We overpaid for Martínez. Maybe we did a little bit, Donkey. I think we probably did a little bit, but not by that much. He's a classy player, 24-year-old, Argentina international, progressing really well on the back of a really great season. So we probably did overpay a little bit, but probably not by that much. I think we overpaid by like 5 mil. Santosh Adhikari, thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button there, Santosh. Appreciate you, bro. Nice one. Welcome aboard. Williams, 15 million bid from Brighton. Yeah, well, Jeanette, links there as well. Absolutely. 15 million is reported amount that we could be receiving for Brandon Williams. I think Brandon Williams is a player we could sell. He's not really going to play for us. We've just got too many players ahead of him, but he's a good young prospect. In some ways, it makes more sense to sell Tellez and to sell Wan-Bissaka or something and just keep Brando. So, I mean, I'm not overly bothered, to be honest, either way, but I also think he's a good young player with a good attitude. Santosh Adhikari, thank you for hitting that sub up there, bud. Madhouse says, please read Jonathan Gallagher's comment. Jonathan says, pig, he's with a bunch of losers at the club, says Jonathan Gallagher. Who's that now? Who do you mean? Oh, wait, move on. We need strengthening. Who are you talking about, Jonathan Gallagher? Sorry, I'm talking about 3 different people all the time in this chat right now. Rooney's ready for Manchester United, says Lucky Singh. You want Sesko, I do. Yeah, well, he looks a good young player. I don't know much about him. I've just seen some clips and stuff. He's 19. He's a tall lad. He's got an okay record, but he's young and he's got big potential. So, yeah, could be a good player in the future. Martínez is an absolute steal compared to Slabby. You're so right there, LOL. You are so right. Sell Brandon and Aaron Wan-Bissaka to get De Ligt. De Ligt's already gone, though, hasn't he? De Ligt's not available now, bud. Hassan Ayub says, let's hope Ronaldo will stick. I love your channel, bro. Thank you, Hassan Ayub. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, I think so, too. That's all what we really want, isn't it? Most of us, anyway, want Ronaldo to stay. Donkey says, Ronaldo captain. If he does stay, then I'd like him to be captain, too. Yeah. Right, hang on. We got a couple of updates from Rushmano. Nice one. Thank you, buddy. We got some quotes from James Garner here, folks. James Garner is quoted as saying, he says, I want to play for Man United. Of course, that's obviously my aim. But I feel like if I'm not going to be playing as regularly as I would like to, then I'm definitely open to going back on loan to a Premier League side. Interesting, guys. So James Garner, keep or loan? What do you reckon? So he is interested in going on loan to a Premier League side. Keep or loan? So it could go to Notts Forest or something like that. Keep or loan Jimmy Garner? I say keep him, folks. I say keep him. He can't be any worse than Shotty McTominay. We haven't seen enough from him. Get Shotty sold, and then just keep Garner, man. but a loan is a good option considering we're probably not going to sell McTominay. Loan says fire up. Lucky Josh Lee. Yeah, keep sell McMayo says Pyramid. Loan for a season says Paul Woolley. Keep says Vincent. Keep says Chris Parker. Loan says Simon Warner. Well, right now we better not load him out because we still don't know if we're getting Frenkie. We still don't know if we're going to do the business in the midfield like we need. So we actually don't know yet. I think we shouldn't get rid of him just yet in case we need him. Keeps, he's 21 or 22, not 18, says must play. Not ready in my opinion, says Josh Lee. Well, he's got to get some game time, doesn't he, to see. Donkey says keep. Let's see what he's got, says Madhouse. Can't be any worse than Donny, says Jonathan Gallagher. Careful what you wish for, Jonathan. Jesse Sings says, Piggy, you guys have to get him TT and Braithwaite. Oh, hell no. No, they're just too... Braithwaite's absolutely awful. I've got better techers than Braithwaite. And TT, Samuel, titty, is decent, but he's injury prone and stuff. Not so sure about that. He's shot at 26, lad. Keep says Duncan. From Ajax is Lucky Singh. Oh, okay. Anthony is a must for you from Ajax. Yeah. Good signing, good player, good prospect. 70 million quid they want from him, apparently, though. Way too much. We'll see. I think we're going to go in for him before the end of the season. Before the end of the summer, I mean. When is Ronaldo meeting Ten Hag, says Marway and Bariri? Well, that's what we'd love to know, isn't it? I don't have to even necessarily have a meeting. I think they have to have a phone call and just gauge whether or not this guy's coming back to play against Brighton, really, don't they? So I think soon, I think they've got to decide and discuss and clarify the situation very soon for both parties. They've got to. Oh, you meant Dumfries, Franks. Oh, Dumfries would be an excellent addition, yeah. Get rid of Wan-Bissaka, get him in. Nesco says, what day will we see Martínez and Eriksen in training? Reportedly Tuesday is likely, but just some day this week. We don't know for sure. But like Simon Luckhurst reporting that, Eriksen's in Manchester and these guys are expected to join up with us this week. The players are off today, but they're back tomorrow. And so therefore, Christian Eriksen could be featuring in training. So we'll have to wait and see there. So it's expected this week though, bud. Right, let's read a few more of these legendary comments out, guys. We're nearly at 300 likes. Nice one. Keep dropping the thumbs up. Let's see if we can get to the big 300. Ronaldo will talk, says Lucky. Phone call tomorrow, says Jose Luis Coelho. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. Sell Laurel and Hardy, a.k.a. McTominay and Slabby, and buy a decent defender with the combined effort, says Simon Warner. Great call. Such a good idea. Redistribute that cash into an actual quality player. John Adair says, back to training tomorrow. Wonder if Ronaldo make an appearance. Probably not tomorrow, John. Probably not tomorrow, but hopefully soon. You would like to get Ajax as Anthony. Yep, brilliant signing he'd be for the right price. But too much of our budget could be taken up going to get a player like that. If Ronaldo goes, maybe we do go and sign a player like Anthony. But if Ronaldo stays, I can't see us doing it. Last season, Dumfries scored 5 and 7 assists. Good player. Yeah, there we go, Jeanette. Good at attacking and strong. Strong physical defensively as well. Walker's Peters is better than Dumfries at right back. Piggy says, Michael, nah, do one, mate. Xander Grogan says, you guys need a new goalkeeper. Heaton needs sacking, same as Jones, Shaw and Fish. Hey, Xander, interesting. Well, Heaton's only a backup. De Gea's going to be playing all the games, really. But I feel you. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have another backup goalie. I also don't necessarily see the need when we've got Tom Heaton as a backup, and that's the key role. It's a backup. It's only when he's needed. This isn't like Romero under Marino when he's rotating a little bit and playing games. No, he's just a complete backup. So because of that, I think we're okay. But that's only if De Gea stays fit and performs. De Jong has not signed yet. Diamond 94, no. Triple J says, hi, Piggy. What's going on, Triple J? How are you getting on? One of the member legends. If De Gea and Heaton are injured, then we should play a youth player, to be fair, Xander Grogan. So that's what I would expect. It's so unlikely that's going to happen, though, bud. You know, that's so unlikely. I like Samuel Titties. He's a good centre-back, says No Toes. Yeah, Neto would be a good backup, says Jassy Singh. Where am I taking Mrs. P? To heaven and back, my friend. You mean Liverpool have 3, says Janda? I mean, look, it is common for modern teams to have 3 good goalkeepers. But I don't think we really need to. I think you need to have a bang-average young player, or not a bang-average player, but a good young prospect who's playing in the under-21s, etc., under-23s, whatever, and he's playing, but he's just a backup, a literal backup. Then you've got somebody that's a good keeper, who's your second in command if you ever need him to, and maybe plays the odd cup game here and there. And then you just need your main guy. And if he's unfortunate enough to get injured, then yeah, I guess you are a little bit short there. But I wouldn't think that it's that important to invest heavily in our goalkeeper at all. If we can get somebody good and cheap, like if Sergio Romero wants to come back and it doesn't cost us at all very much, then yeah, brilliant. Paul Woolley with another super chat. Thank you for a £5 super chat, Mr. Paul Woolley. He says, funny this Glazers gave over 100 million to Tampa Bucks. They see us as their funds for the Bucks. Yeah, there you go, Paul Woolley. Yeah, they won the old Super Bowl, whatever the crap it is over there with their tosh bags, didn't they? Bringing in bloody Tom Brady or whoever it was the other year. But no, we don't get what we need. We don't get that midfielder we've been crying out for a decade now. We don't replace a human slabbernator at the back who's absolutely guff-tastic because they spent the money on him. I mean, okay, they have spent the money, I suppose. I suppose they have spent the money over the years at United. They spent it in the wrong places and they spent it on bad players. But they have spent money. We can't pretend they haven't spent money. They spent bloody billions since Fergie's left. They have spent a lot of money, but they've just spent it awfully because we've got a lot of wanky bankers in there and they just overpaid for a lot of bang-average players. Think about people like Maguire and Wan-Bissaka. A combined £130 million we paid for those guys. In what world, in what universe are they worth anywhere near that? It's just dumbfounded behavior, my friend. They're absolutely idiots. Anyway, yeah, we need a left-footed player like Anthony, says Nesco. Billy says, late the party, sorry, Pig, hope you're well. You still want them bins, says Lucky. Simon says, we also need someone to play alongside Bruno. May improve his playing and getting his goals, says Simon Warner. Yep, good shout. I wonder if what the scenario is there, what the formation's going to be, what the tactic's going to be. We saw in a game the other day, the second part of the game, we actually played with just like one holder, which was Tellez. And then we had like Donny and Bruno advanced up the pitch at the same time. So maybe you could see something with Eriksen and Bruno playing together, or, you know, it's down to the manager, says Paul Woolley. Simon says, we also need to play alongside Bruno. Oh, I read that, didn't I? Broncos going to Super Bowl this season, says Chassis. Who cares? Anyway, folks, right, I'm going to have to wrap this video up. It's nearly a 90-minute looking video, this one. So we're going to wrap it up, folks. But thank you very, very much for everybody who's joined in. If I've not replied to you, please do come back after this video is finished and get your thoughts and comments in the not live comment section. Keep the debate going with this amazing community of legends. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if it's your first time on the channel, because we give you all the latest news in a no clickbait, no BS way. And we're on here a couple of times a day, giving you the rundown in the transfer window. So click the subscribe button, click the little bell icon as well, like your name was Quasimodo. Esmeralda the Bills! So you get a notification when we post and go live. Also, follow us on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And you see at the top of the live chat, there is a link to my Twitter. Go and give that a retweet. That's the link to this show. I will follow every single person back that retweets that link. And also give us a follow if you're not already. And follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and all the rest of them, Facebook, at Flying Pig United. You can check the website out as well, unitedflyinghigh.com. Ben Dawes says, please don't go. I'm going to have to go, but we'll be back on tonight around about 9 or 10-ish. Peace out there, no toes. Mike Clegg as well. He says, Piggy, someone is going to write a song. The Ballad of Frenkie de Jong. It will be a 19-minute long song. Thank you, Vutilator. He says, smash the like button for the pig. Yes, please do leave one on your way out. We're nearly at 300, actually. We're only 3 away. Is there 3 legends who have yet to hit the like? You can do so on your way out. Please smash the like if you haven't done. Irfane Kadili, Sergei Milinkovic-Savic. Yep, good option in case we can't get De Jong, eh? Thank you, Vuti. Thank you, Jeanette Pugh. Jassy Singh. Simon Warner as well. Gungshi. Yeah, thank you, Don Gungshi. You have a great day as well, man. I still need to send you a pokey gift. I'm slacking. Madhouse and Chris Barker and Chai Comliff Cool and Lucky and Fire Up CV, Rushmano. Thank you for all the updates, Rushy. Billy, Master Yoda, the Hoop Man, Philip Chapman, LOL. Hey, he says we got 300 likes. Get in there, LOL. Thank you so much, my friend, for hitting the like, everybody. Brilliant stuff, brilliant scenes. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of the channel and being a part of the community. I'll be back later. Cheers, Top Dog, Chris Koo, Jeffers, Trooper, Superstar, Fezhun, Don Gungshi, Dizzy Red Devil, and everybody else as well. You're all a bunch of legends. See you on the next one. There's the latest news, a.k.a. no news. Not that much news today, slow news day, but hopefully tonight there'll be some more positive news in regards to United maybe recruiting some players. Keep a lookout, folks. Keep yourself locked, and we'll give you the latest as and when it comes in a no clickbait, no bullshit way. See you later, folks. Soon.